So for 25 years, I worked in corporate America, and then boom, just like that, I was laid off. Uh, After that happened, I really didn't know what I was going to do. So all of that time, I was making art. I had been making art. I went to school and graduated from school with a degree in fine art. So, of course, like a lot of people, I didn't go to work in my major. But all of that time, I still continued to do art. So when I was laid off, I really didn't know what direction I was going to go in. I knew I wanted to go in the direction of art, but I really didn't know how that was going to work. So of course, what I did is I continued to make art even after being laid off, and something surprising started to happen. Um, this had been happening before, but I just hadn't noticed it. I started to get like insights and ideas while I would be making the art. I think that just being in the process and just like getting in the zone of making the art helped me to really zone in and get ideas of little problems that I would have in my life. And that's kind of how I came up with this idea of like um, being able to help people while making my art with the ideas that I come up with. Um, I, ca- I My next step was I just started to write down everything. I just started to write down all the insights and little things that I would get, and then after I finished the process of art making, then I would go back and I would read them, and I found that these ideas were really insightful and helpful in my life. And I thought, why couldn't I use this to help somebody else? Even the different ideas that I used to come up with while making the art affected the way the art was made. And so it was like a symbiotic thing. So I probably was laid off probably like maybe a year to a year and a half ago, something like that. But I probably came up with this idea probably a couple of months after being laid off. And I was just doing research and trying to figure out if this was something that could be done or something that someone else was doing, and I think that's one of the things that hold me back from really reaching out and doing like a YouTube video about this. But um, I mean, just because it isn't, just because nobody else is doing it, and just because it's new, there's new things that's come out all the time in the world. So that's why I'm here today to, to express this idea. And the ideas that I was getting and from when making art is just amazing. It helped me to, be able to move from being in the corporate world to being in a more entrepreneurial world. And I think that this process can help other people out there, and it could, help them become more knowledgeable and about where they are in their life. And because you don't want to, when things happen like that, you come to a crossroads in your life, you could get stuck, and you waste a lot of time figuring out, should I do this or should I do that, when you could have someone help you to do that. And I'm not saying that like my art is anything like psychic or anything like that, or I'm just saying that the ideas that I get, I mean, can help you with like different roads that you could go down or different paths you could take in your life, to make your life more full and more happy. And so that's really what I'm offering uh, on this path. Um, my my art has always been a part of my life, and I love what I create and what I make, uh, and I just want to be able to share that with the world and share and maybe help a couple of people out there, maybe help some people out there be able to move to their next stage in life. Because sometimes, just you could have like a couple of ideas banging here, banging there, but just not have that courage or that next something to push you to go forward with it. Uh, and so that's what I'm really trying to help people with, to go forward and to uh, be able to move forward in their life, because with AI and things like that, I think it's going to be a lot of things out there, a lot of people out there at the crossroads and trying to figure out the next thing that they want to do with their life, and I believe that I could be a help to that. So if you resonate with this, or you feel like this is something that might interest you, go ahead, leave me a comment, or leave me a comment in the comment section, and maybe we could talk about it. Maybe I could help you, and we could get to the next steps of this of your life, just like I did, and I was able to do. And you know, that's all I want to talk about today. Thanks for listening. I'm glad if you stayed this long. Thanks. Peace out.